Welcome to the Networking with Michelle podcast, the show dedicated to providing you with life strategies with a little bit of entrepreneur advice. Here we believe in the Jim Rohn quote, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Hey everyone, welcome to the Networking with Michelle show. I'm your host, Michelle Gomez, as we discuss life strategies with a little bit of entrepreneurial advice. So I am back, as I stated last week. I will take a moment to discuss the vision, the creation behind the African American Marketing Association. And I know for many of y'all have been reaching out to me on social media and they're like, man, just, document this journey, doing videos. And I just wasn't in the right space to do that, but I am now. So I want to catch you up, take a step back, bring you up to speed, and definitely do better moving forward. And even though I may have not been doing any visuals about my journey with the association, I've been keeping a private journal about the association. And I guess the future hope, I'm a writer, author, so eventually write a book on leadership and, share those experiences along the way. So let's take it back. Let's take it back a little bit. Let's go back to 2013, 2012, I'm getting old, y'all. I think 2013. I want to say 2013. I think that's when I graduated. And I graduated, quit my job, went broke. And I was talking to this lady, never met this lady. God bless her. God bless her. But we were in a conversation about one business, and then we started talking about marketing. And I was telling her I was involved with the Black MBA and the Urban League, Young Professionals. And she was like, there's no Black Professional Marketing Association. And I paused and I was like, you're right. She was like, you should start one. And I was like, whoa, you're wrong. And at that time, I just had too much going on. The main thing was I was starting my business. And I was like, there's no way I can birth two babies at once, right? In a spiritual sense. There was no way I could start two businesses, two organizations at one time. And I just tabled it, clearly I tabled it. And every year I would Google, like from that moment, every year I would Google African American Marketing Association, Black Marketing Association, or any other variables along with those keywords, and nothing would come up. Nothing would come up. And through the years, I served on the board of the organizations. I went through Houston Black Leadership Institute and really, really formed some great friendships among my classmates. And I would talk to my peers about, how do you start an association? Because I think lots of times it's not necessarily how to start the association, it's how to get people to buy in to the association. How do you get people to buy into the organization, into your vision? And this can be, for-profit, nonprofit, whatever the case may be. It's really about how do you galvanize people. And I think that's the test of influence right there. But that's a whole nother sermon. And I would just ask my peers and they're like, you got it. And I'm like, no, I don't. That's why I'm asking you. I don't know, and I think that's why I'm always saying I'm just trying to figure it out. And because that statement is really, really true. And my friends would say, start a Facebook group. I started a Facebook group called Black Marketing Association Houston. Actually, let me back up a little bit. There was a LinkedIn group called, I want to say Black Marketing Association or something similar to that. But it was a LinkedIn group. There was no national organization, no national presence, no website or anything of that nature. So I went with the Facebook. Oh, and that LinkedIn group was dead. And, LinkedIn groups have gone through its changes, or drastically declined over the years. So I started a Facebook group because Facebook groups were popping. However, mine wasn't popping, and I was in my feelings. But no, seriously, I started a Facebook group. But once again, it's like, how do you galvanize people? And I've never been a fan of leading a Facebook group. Like that's never been my desire. And I know a lot of people have suggested it to me, whether it's through the podcast or some type of group coaching or product or service that I'm offering, include the Facebook group. But that's never been like the immediate desire, which we'll get back to that later. So started the Facebook group and I really couldn't get it going. I couldn't get the engagement that I was looking for, whatever I was looking for at that time. It wasn't there. And I'm pretty sure it's just one of those things where life happens. And when life happens, priorities just change. And, the priority is always to get money and pay your bills. And when you're not in that overflow state, it's just hard to operate ideas. So bye-bye to the Facebook group. I archived that. People and then there will be random requests with people who want to join, and I'll just leave them there pending. It's like, whatever, man. So I did that. I don't even know what year I'm on or whatever. So I'm, still Google searching African American Black Marketing Associations, nothing. And I'm just going to fast forward to 2018. There was a series of events that happened in 2018, and nothing that directly affected me. I just got tired. And one thing that happened was there was the H&M commercial about the little Black boy wearing the monkey shirt and the controversy behind that. And I'm a little torn on this situation. If I'm not mistaken, I forgot the country, but his parents are from Africa. And what people fail to realize is that Black history is taught in America. Black history or slavery is not taught in other countries. Slavery is, at least for my mom, my mom, or I should say my mom, she's from Cameroon. And I've asked her, I was like, did you learn about slavery when you were in school? And she was like, no, she didn't know about slavery until she was here. And mind you, my mom came to college. She came to America to go to college. So I don't even know if she had a formal introduction about slavery. Like, I don't even know what that is. I might need to ask her about that. But so there's already an educational gap when it comes to the disparities in history of Black Americans and African Americans, right? Afro-Americans. And I say that to separate in context to this conversation. So with that being said, if the mom is of African descent, or African, I should say, she may not know the meaning behind a monkey or Black people being called monkey. That's what I'm assuming, at least at that time. And then you just don't know people's situation, right? So she had an opportunity to make some money to support her family through her son. Hey, but sometimes I do wonder, like, who's in the room? Like, what are these conversations going on in the room before they find the Black actor, the Black model to play that part? So that happened. There was a situation, and I might be getting some of these. I didn't do any research. I just jumped on the microphone. So I don't know if all of these years are correct or the sequence of events. I believe Snapchat had a situation where it was some type of contest with Rihanna versus Chris Brown, or some type of BS, and it was like if Rihanna was in a fight, right? And the thing is, if you're part of hip hop, urban culture, Black culture, we know the situation between Rihanna and Chris Brown, right? So, and I don't even think part of it's a Black thing, part of it's a woman thing, but it's a very sensitive subject. And once again, what was the conversation in this room to approve this digital ad? And I think what's even worse compared to the H&M situation, Chris Brown and Rihanna are major high profile celebrities. So I think like their celebrity transcends race, and even culture. So I think like those are top 40 artists. So I even think white folk, white millennial folk would be aware of the Chris Brown Rihanna incident. But the ad was presented and there was a backlash. But maybe that was the objective from the beginning. I don't know. But, so that was something that pissed me off. Okay. And then here on the local level, there were several billboards for the different universities that we have here. We have University of Houston, we have Texas Southern University, TSU, University of Houston also has U of H. We have St. Thomas. I think those were the three universities here in Houston. And it seemed like these schools utilized the same company when it came down to the billboard advertising and messaging. And basically, the messaging was taking the school name or the letters, the acronym, and saying, for one example was, you can't spell Houston without TSU, right? Which is TSU backwards and from the word Houston. And I was like, ooh, y'all trying too hard, trying too hard. And for me, it just looked like these three universities were using the same company, the same marketing agency for their advertising. And then the agency wasn't creative or being unique with the messaging, right? It's kind of like, oh, well, we came up with these three messages. Well, we came up with 6 messages. U of H wanted 3, and we'll give the other 3 to TSU, and we'll give another 3. Like, I felt like it was leftovers. Right? And I don't know about the timing and the intricacies of, the proposals and all that type of stuff. But I know those billboards were being rocked in Houston at the same time. And I was like, huh? And I was like, man, this is whack. This is crazy. And the thing is, I didn't even graduate from TSU. And I started at U of H. I finished at U of H Victoria under the U of H system. But I was like, this ain't cool. And then the last thing that just got me over the edge, and a lot of this was in the spring and the summer, Adweek, an advertising publication, they had their top 100 list of technology experts, branding, marketing experts, whatever, their Power 100 list. And I like that list. I like looking forward to that list, seeing who's on there. And last year, that list was so construed. There was only 10 or 11 women on that list. 10 or 11 women on that list. There was no Black person on that list. Not one Black person on that list. And I was hot. I don't know why, because I don't know anyone, but I was not happy. And I felt like, one, I think the year before, 2017, Luvvie Ajayi was on the list. She could have made the list again. 2, Bosma St. John. Now, if you don't know who she is, this woman is a beast. Okay? She's a monster. She should have definitely been on the list. And she should have been on the list because she has received, at least that 2017, 2018 year, she was with Uber. Right? So I think Black woman in a high position at Uber under, I don't know what all of the qualifiers are for that list, but I think if you're going off a title, company, and revenue, she should have been on the list, right? I think she's blackballed, but hey, what do I know? I'm not in that circle. But okay. Prior to Uber, she did work with Pepsi and Apple/Beats by Dre, right? So like she had a track record of success. She qualified to be on that list, and she wasn't on there. And there was no black person. Not you can even do Tristan Walker of Bevel, right? And before that, he was with Foursquare. Like our people weren't on the list, and then there was only 10 women on the list, and I was hot. And then a lot of those women, you have the CEO of Pepsi. I can't say her name, but I definitely respect the hustle. She's an Indian, Middle Eastern woman. I felt like I can't discredit her, but I don't consider Pepsi to be like a tech company. I'm sure they got some technology behind it, but I felt like those are more of Fortune 100 companies and not so much in the tech space. So I do feel like there was the list is a bit misconstrued, but nonetheless, there's only 10 women on there and 0 black folk on there. So I was in my feelings and I was like, man, Michelle, you can create your own list because, I'm my number one hype man. So I'm probably gassing myself up on 610. And I was like, shit, I can do this myself. I can create my own list. There's people that I admire, that I follow their work, watch their YouTube videos, listen to podcasts. I learn from them on a regular basis. They need to be recognized. They need to be acknowledged. And it's time. And then I said, better yet, I can create this list through the association if I decide to start it. And I was like, now it's time to start. Now's the time. And it was just so crazy because personally, I probably was driving for Uber like in the summer, was working part-time. Man, y'all don't know my behind the scenes story about this entrepreneurship journey. I haven't even come clean about a lot of things. But like I had no money. Like I didn't have nothing to my name. But I knew it was time to start the association. And when I say it's time, it was really about me just taking the time to write out the ideas, the business plan, like just to map things out. Like, cause I've never done that before. I never did that in the previous years. And I just started putting pen to paper, typing things out, jotting notes down in between trips, on the go, talking to my phone, memos here and there. And still Googling, no website, no names were taken. And I was like, all right, let's go. And I could tell you, like, man, last year was crazy. That's why I take a break. But God is so divine because it's one of those things where even the association is part of it. But it's like once I made up my mind about the association and I had to make up my mind about some other things, boom, I got a job at the law firm. I actually had 2 job offers at that time. I had 2 job offers. And I decided to rock with the law firm, and I started with them August 13th. And I remember when I started, because, prior to the law firm, so a staffing agency brought me on. So I started doing some stuff with them. So I was the money was flowing. And then I was like, hey, got a permanent offer. So then I jumped to the law firm. And I was like, man, okay, this job is going to pay me decent enough money for me to take care of my bills. So that's one less thing to worry about. It's 10 minutes from my house. It's in the loop. And this is going to accommodate my life, right? All my outside activities. I don't have to worry about long commutes. See my mom on the weekends, but my Monday through Friday, it'll allow me to be a lot more social and active when it comes to networking and all that good stuff. So I was like, I'm going to make this job work for me. And I'm going to start the association. It's crazy because I had a 5-year plan when I started this company, and then I cut it down to 3 years. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. But on that, one of it was applied to grad school, PhD program. Yeah. I did apply, but I didn't get in. And then only applied to one school. And then it was to start the association. So I got it on my wall, on my vision wall. And I was like, man, I'm going to work here. I'm going to serve my purpose, and I'm going to allow my dreams to come true. Now, this was the glitch. So I'm getting all prepared for this association. I'm going to find a board, interest meeting, all this kind of stuff. My mom had knee surgery, and I didn't factor that in. And I was really like, is this the right time? Right? Because it goes back to time and creating priorities. And so I had to battle through that because her knee surgery wasn't as simple as it was supposed to be. She has some complications, but she's alive, thank God. But during that moment, like during that 3 to 6 week moment, it was very intense because I had already scheduled interest meetings. I had like 2 interest meetings to talk about the association. And, it was just, I don't like events, so I get very nervous when it comes to events, like who's going to show up. And even though I get nervous, I strongly believe like who's meant to be here is meant to be here. Like that's always my thing. And whether it's one person, 2 people, or 10 people, I just went through that process. Created an online interest form. People were filling that out, trying to reach out to people through email, phone calls, whatever the case may be. And then I think it was by October, I established my board, right? So I went through the application process, interviews. So shout out to Andrea Brown, the VP, Maria Foster, Corporate Development, Tiffany Taylor Hicks, Programs, Tamia Robertson, Secretary, Bobby, Treasurer, Kara is social media marketing. And yeah, that's my team. Okay, cool. I'm trying to do all of this off head. So from October up until February, we were just meeting once a month, trying to get to know each other. Of course, we have the holidays, overall things tend to slow down around the holidays. But just trying to, get to know these women on a deeper level. Some of them I knew personally, but now we're going to work together. Some of them were recommended or referred by a colleague because I'm friends with their sister or colleagues or whatever. It was a process, right? Because once again, I underestimated the process. I'm thinking we can just jump in and work. I'm a workaholic, I can just jump in, I can work, I can sit down for 4, 5, 6 hours and work on something if I'm really interested and hyper-focused on that particular task, if I want to do it. And that's not the case for everybody, right? And just really taking a step back and, learning people, asking the right questions, who are you? How do you communicate? What motivates you? And trying to accommodate those little things, which can be very challenging when you're not in a work environment. Because when you're in a work environment, it's like, okay, we are together in these 4 walls for 8 hours, right? Versus, it's virtual and it's free. And there's life to live, which can be very challenging. At least for me, I guess that's the point. It's the point of this point guard. It can be very challenging. So I've been learning a lot about myself during this process. So February 19th, 2019, we had a social mixer at Sambuca's. And just, our announcement, did the press release, got that out to the people. And we had a great turnout. Very grateful for everyone that showed up. And then March, we partnered with Toastmasters and Communicators Cannot Present. April, we had our membership drive. And today, May 14th, we're having, I guess I could say, our first AAMA meeting, standalone meeting, holding it down by ourselves. Know Your Numbers, discussing digital analytics. And we're going to have 4 panelists. come out and speak on their expertise. I'm very grateful for them. Very grateful for the reception of, people wanting to collaborate with us. I didn't even expect that. And I say, creating a collaborative community, and it was really geared for the marketing folks, which I need to talk about. But there's been so many people, leaders, colleagues of other organizations and businesses that have been wanting to, like, hey, I want to do something with y'all. And I'm like, yeah, that's what it's about. So let me get into the mission behind AAMA, since I've given you the backstory. So if you're here in Houston, there's about 20 to 25 Black professional organizations, from accounting, MBA, sales, HR, architect, medical, lawyers, every profession but the marketers. And it's very inspiring. And and I've been fortunate to become a member with some of those organizations and just network with several of the members of these organizations. So that in itself is motivational. With marketing is challenging because marketing is very broad, and marketing can be, you can say your MBA people, right? Business people. You can say your sales people, National Sales Network, NSN. Marketing can swing different ways depending on, what you're trying to do. A lot of people think, well, and it really depends on industry. So that can be a challenge, right? Because maybe you're a marketing manager for a hospital. I'm in Houston, the largest medical center, but you probably join the healthcare organization because you're in the healthcare industry. And then you have the lane of entrepreneurship, where business owners need to learn marketing so they can market their business. And that was actually one of my greatest challenges of trying to understand, what will this organization look like? Who is it for? And I wanted to be a space for marketers to come together and learn, right? Stay abreast on the latest trends. But they can geek out, right? Like, I'm a nerd, just really kind of geek out on marketing stuff. And that was important to me. But I also know so many people need help in marketing that they're going to come to us. So where's the balance? And what I came up with, or my team and I, so that was another thing. I told my team, I am going from I to we, or from me to we, right? So yes, I got these ideas mapped out, but this isn't all about me. I need you to help me flesh out these ideas, and things need to be tweaked and all that kind of stuff. Let's do it. And AAMA's mission, African American Marketing Association, AAMA's mission to foster the growth and professional development of African Americans in the marketing industry. And the biggest thing with the association is really about creating a place to learn, for people to learn. Our main goals are to provide a collaborative environment that provides quality programs, opportunities, and exposure that enhances members' personal and professional development, to inform and educate best practices and industry trends, and advocate for multicultural marketing within African Americans and other minority communities. So if you recall the things that I was complaining about, right? Like, who's in the room approving these ads for H&M, Snapchat, and etc., right? Because I really feel like if a Black person's present in that room, they were like, no, this isn't going to fly. Oh, another thing was the Shea Moisture, right? And then they had like Gary V's agency do it, and it was just craziness, right? But it's like, that's the thing. It's like, who's in these rooms? Who's in these rooms? And it's like, if we can create a space where marketers can come together and learn from each other, they can collaborate. And maybe you're a one-man shop and you're struggling with things, but if you have this person that's been in business for 10 years and they have 15 employees and they're doing good, maybe you can get a contract, part-time job. Maybe, that's the collaborative effort I'm talking about. That's what I want to see. Houston's a big city. We have a lot of business that comes here, whether it's the Super Bowl, NCAA tournaments. We got all these kind of, I see stuff and I like, it doesn't apply to me, but when you have big major events coming to town, that's an influx of money, a revenue for the city, and they need more workers, they need suppliers, they need vendors to accommodate these events. And once again, maybe your company's not big enough, but if you can become a subcontractor, or you can find employees, contractors through the marketing association, that's a win. That's a win, because I just want to help. Or maybe you are a white Caucasian agency owner, right? And you're like, man, this multicultural marketing thing is hot, but we had a few misses on the previous contract. It's time to come to us. Yes, right? Come learn. Or maybe it's about the Hispanic marketers and the African American marketers coming together and doing something incredible. It can be done. It can be done, right? So it really is about creating that collaborative community, that collaborative environment where we can learn, we can work together, where we can serve each other, we can teach. Maybe you have your business, but now want to share your expertise. And hey, we need speakers, right? When we have these different topics, hey, Michelle, I would love to do something with your group. Cool. It's just a matter of time because this list is getting long. And that's what AAMA is really about. That's what the African American Marketing Association is really about, is about bringing people together in order for us to move forward. And this is a place for you to learn. This is not a service-based organization, so I'm not going to take your business. I'm not going to take your money like that. You can do membership, though. Because I did have someone come out to me like, hey, you're exactly what I need. And I was like, no, but I do have a marketing company. Let's talk, right? And maybe, you're doing things well, but you just need to come in and learn this one thing. You need to come in and learn why analytics are so important behind your business. And that social media is not just about posting, but if I decide to spend my advertising dollars on Facebook, what do I need to know? What do I need to look out for? Tristan Sun's the guy to go to, right? So it's just so much behind marketing. I'm so passionate about this. I'm passionate about marketing. I'm passionate about helping people, helping and seeing people become successful. And I just feel like this association is one of the best ways I can do that. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to spearhead this. And I have plenty of moments when I'm scared shitless. But I know this organization is bigger than me, and just gotta keep pushing and praying and pushing. But I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm grateful, and God, it's just amazing. It's just really, really amazing. So, need to talk about membership. See, today's actually the 14th. So, if you catch this in time, we have our event today at the United Way Greater Houston, 50 Wall Drive from 6 to 8. Know Your Numbers, discussing digital analytics. So check that out. Click on the link for more details. It is free. It is free. All right. So membership. So we have crafted Project 100 where we are getting our first 100 members, founding members. So at this time, you can come in at $50 membership fee for the first 100 people. Then the standard annual fee is $150 per year. Now, those people, those first 100 people will be grandfathered in at the $50. Okay. And what we're offering is the trainings. We have our monthly newsletter where we're providing tips and tricks of marketing tips and tricks, professional development, personal development. And then we're going to have a Facebook group. And we want to get to the point where when we get enough people for the Facebook group, it really is exclusive. So where we can have guest speakers, experts come in and do something special only for the members, right? So if you're a member, jump in the Facebook group, have that, we'll get that going soon. I'm already behind on it and I do apologize, but we'll get that going and then try to provide some type of recording. And I think the Facebook group is important for so many reasons, but we've also been receiving a lot of interest from people outside of Houston. And one thing I'm not going to do is grow too fast, right? But definitely want to find a way that if you are outside of Houston, you can find it worth becoming a member if we have such a valuable online community. Yeah, so that is membership right now. And look, we're still learning. We're still sorting through some things and trying to figure some stuff out. At the same time, I think if you know me, if you trust me, and you're willing to be a little bit more patient, I think this may be the best time to join. At the same time, I know $50 is $50, right? And your $50 is precious to you, just like my $50 is precious to me. And you can't afford to waste your money. But I do think this is something that is literally growing, right? And when we had the membership brunch, I literally had a chance to ask people, what do you want? You know, what do you want? What do you want to see? And I'm a person at this time in my life, I'm still within reach, where people are sending me Facebook messages and we're having chats, right? People are texting me. People are able to jump on the phone with a board member and talk about certain things or make a decision like, hey, I want to meet with them for lunch or coffee real quick. And I think that's the best thing to do at this time. And I'm not saying I'm going to blow up, but it's just the time to blow up, right? And I'm not using AAMA to blow up. I definitely have my own thing that I do. Y'all know that. And I'm not trying to be president forever. I'm definitely not. But, you know, once again, life happens, priorities shift. But this is a time where if you join this organization, you are not just a number, you are a member, and you're a member that can be heard. I like that. I just made that up. Yeah, that was pretty good. Gotta put that in my sermon next time I speak. So I feel like I got everything out. I had to keep some stuff in because the next episode I do want to talk about leadership and just my transition through this whole process of stepping into this role and through the association as well as work, right? And I knew that 2019 was going to be a year of leadership. And, whew, man, it's been a major mental shift. Plus, I just completed a leadership program called Accelerate. So yeah, next episode, I want to talk about all of that. And look, it's just May. It's just been 5 months. And look, I'm going to go ahead and toot my own horn and give myself credit. I'm doing pretty damn good. Okay, you're doing pretty damn good too. So give yourself credit. We still have a good half of 2019 to do amazing things. And as always, I believe in you. Make sure you follow me on social media. Michelle Gourmet, michellegourmet.com. You could check out the African American Marketing Association. Website is aa-ma.org, or AAMA Houston, AAMA Houston, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Please reach out to me, reach out to AAMA through social media. Want to see you. I want to meet you. I want you to become a member. I want you to believe in the association as much as I believe in you. Peace and blessings.